Hello, everybody, and welcome. I apologize for being late. My bad. Also, very bad because this is our first official Friday stream, I believe, yeah? So I hope people didn't think that I forgot. Right, let's see. Yeah, it does the same thing like last time. So that's the video, and that's without the video. I don't know. Anyway, can't you control from your end? Didn't you say you had the ability to?
No, what I can do is when you have both people on, I can put one or the other.
I don't know why, but for some reason, like I said, this is non-video, which I should put my banners on.
Close the Stream Deck app and reopen it.
Close the Stream Deck app. Hello, everybody. Hi, Spin. Hello, Newman. We're so sorry to be late. We're running behind, as you probably have figured out by now. My apologies. It's all my fault. Okay, so you're saying go into right, let's see here. I guess scenes, video, same thing happens. What did you want me to talk to me, Bobby? What would you like me to do?
Let's see. Let me think here for a second.
It just doesn't make sense. Hello, Wendy. Hello, everybody. And it always does this, where basically the video essentially doesn't do anything. I'm probably forgetting some important idiot switch, because I am an idiot.
Video, this is the link that should be in the source.
So in the video scene?
Yeah.
So let's see. I can't even go to properties for the scene. So I think
the source. In the scene.
It's in sources, right? Okay. So I was in scenes. Let me go to sources. Hold on a second here. And video browser. There we go. Alrighty. So should I do what we normally do, which is cut it,
Sure.
Say okay, and then go back and paste it?
Right.
So, but same problem. Oh, now there we go. So 3 items to add. So this is one. Number 2 was restream.
Right.
Get all chat working. And number 3 is set an alarm for David.
Right.
I'm, you know what, guys? I am just not used to this, this new time and stuff. It is what it is. My sincerest apologies to everybody. But here we are. We are here. So
Let's talk about Thanksgiving.
the Pac-Man parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was pretty epic. Why does Apple keep putting a thumbs up?
You turn off as soon as it sees this from your screen, it does that. You have to turn that off, but
all right. But nobody's putting their thumb up. That's the part that's bothering me, is nobody's putting up their thumb. So where's that? All right, seems to be behaving itself now. Yeah, that was crazy. No, like 3 different people sent that to me,
okay.
and yeah, crazy. No.
Yeah, that was. So when you sent it to me, I thought it was. It's video that guy was saying he was going to do for Thanksgiving, and I thought, okay, whatever, I'll check it out later. And then when I saw it, I was floored.
Like what?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I know, man. Yeah, like seems like Namco's going all in on the Pac-Man. No?
45 years.
Yeah, well, that's that's about right, because I was like a little kid when it first came out. Hello, Miles. Hello, Jasmine is here. We have Spin, Miles, Jasmine, Wandy, and Newman. Did I get Spin in there? Okay. Anyway.
Treeks.
Where? Who? Triax is here? I don't see Triax.
Yeah, he's here.
Maybe Triax didn't say anything in the chat.
I think he said something before you got it.
Ah, well, hello, Triax. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Have a Pac-rific day. Yeah, it's so it was pretty crazy, man. That whole thing, that whole deal. Yeah, I mean, they're really going all in on the Pac-Man. That's basically what I got out of it. So,
I mean, to know that your music played for such a huge chunk of the country, you know.
They played my music?
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it. No, I just saw it.
Yeah, they were playing the theme.
They were playing the theme? The theme? The theme. Holy shit, that makes it. Yeah, well, then
I would like to see your reaction.
I just looked at the video. I never turned the volume on, and I never in a million years would have imagined that they would play my music. But I guess it's official.
Watch it. Let's
all right, let's watch it together. I think that's fair. All right, well, let me first of all, I just texted it to you, so let's see here. Where are we here? Log in. Oh, I don't see. This is probably why, because it previewed for me, but then to actually go on to X.
Chopping his way through New York, and you don't need any quarters.
And his first parade out in the classic
there it is. Yeah.
Character Bandai Namco is here to celebrate Pac-Man's
wow.
45th
All right, let me share the
anniversary.
screen here.
Looks like he's already managed to grab some cherries for his Thanksgiving
Holy
meal.
shit. Okay, but they weren't
Blinky, inky,
playing the music.
Well, if you'd like to serve a
So it doesn't seem like they were playing the music at the parade. It seems like the report was using the music in the background.
So,
because it wouldn't sound that, the fidelity wouldn't be that good if it was.
Right.
All right. For those who are wondering what we are talking about, let me share my screen with all of you. So this was at the the Thanksgiving Day
side
parade.
of nostalgia with dinner. Your family can play Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, the new remake of one of their most popular games of all time. It's now available for consoles and PC right now.
This is insane, no? So it's like, the thing is, the Pac-Man is not, like, it's a generic Pac-Man. It doesn't say, like, Re-Pac on it. So it seems like officially they've chosen this as the music of Pac-Man, which that's pretty amazing, guys. No? That's crazy, no?
And it looks like he's already managed to grab some cherries for his Thanksgiving meal.
This is amazing. What is this? The Macy's parade or whatever? Yeah, it's a very, very famous parade in New York City.
It's now available for consoles and PC right now.
That's pretty amazing, I gotta say it, man. Now, the thing is, this is not endorsed officially by Namco, for example. So, like, I think this is somebody's report somewhere. Like, I
think that's NBC. I think I recognize one of.
Okay. Fair enough, but the point is the who posted it, video game art and tidbits. My point being, it's not like an officially sponsored by Namco thing. I think it's probably like NBC made some deal with Namco to like promote Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac.
Right.
Yeah, so which is great. Look,
Parade is an advertisement.
well, sure, and
Character.
listen, man.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm ecstatic. I think it's amazing. And yeah, I mean, look, Pac-Man World 2, the original, was already a 1 million+ selling game, right? So literally millions of people have heard that music. So notice how I distanced myself. I said that music. It's my music. I mean, it's, I guess, I don't know, man. I got a lot of issues, man. Well, it's kind of, I guess. I don't know what it is. I guess like there's this sort of self-hating part of my artist's identity that will refuse to give myself any credit. This is, if we're, here we go. There we are. If I'm being completely authentic, artists, many artists, suffer from a variety of different, mental health issues. And so for me, yeah, like it's, I have this self-hatred. And so it's like some days it's not so bad, but other days it's bad. And I don't know, I guess, yeah, for me, yeah, that music, as if I didn't write it. So yeah, it's crazy. It's literally crazy and insane that at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, they had the Pac-Man. First of all, that float was epic. I mean, that is like the most epic real life version of Pac-Man that you'll ever see in your life. Epic. It's actually epic. And I suppose the only thing that could be better than what we just saw is if there was a live marching band. A boy can dream. A boy can dream, right? A live... What?
We could have done it for them.
We could have, but for whatever reason, Namco doesn't seem to be terribly interested in having a relationship with us anymore. Sorry, I just got to call it like I see it. Which is fine. That's fine. I still love Namco. I'm still grateful, that I had that opportunity to begin with. Let's see. Triax is doing dishes, and he says, sorry. No worries, Triax. I just didn't see you show up in the chat, so I didn't say hello. And, of course, I want to say hello. 50th anniversary is going to be something. Well, here's the thing, everyone. For the 25th anniversary of Re-Pac 2, that's coming up pretty darn soon. I was kind of hoping we could do something like amazing or epic. But yeah, the 50th anniversary of Pac-Man also. But, once again, it's, I don't know. The Namco lawyer situation probably won't improve. By the way, Spin Music, the 1080 pipes were not officially in Pac-Man World 2. I hate to break it to you. They may have been on 1 or 2 levels, but the real pipes that were mostly used were the Heart of Asia Bandai or Bandi or D-Ban. What the hell's the instrument called? I'll tell you in a minute. And then the African hunting pipe was the other big star of the show. I'll tell you, I originally went into the 3080. This was in 2021 when I was doing some live streaming, and a lot of people wanted me to talk about Pac-Man World 2. And it's when I also wrote those tracks, the inspired by Pac-Man World 2 tracks. And I just, I'd never done the research of going into the original stuff. So I just assumed it was the 1080 pipes. But in fact, I believe it was not. They may have been used, but when I went and I extracted all the original MIDI files from the original sources, it was always, that the Heart of Asia. Here, I'll tell you exactly the pipe that I used, because I marked them all in a folder. Here, I'll just quickly, where are we here? Share the screen with you guys. So here we go. By the way, Bobby, look at that. I did.
You bought it.
I fucking did, dude. Well, there was no Black Friday.
Right, because it just came out.
It just came out, right? So
Yeah.
I had to do it, man. I had to do it. And I think the reason we've never seen it in the wild is I'm almost 100% sure that they watermark it. And this is why people are not putting it out in the wild, because, you can lose your license and, all that kind of crap. A lot of these companies are now doing this. They're watermarking to make sure that people don't, put them out into the wild and make sure everybody buys it. So I'm going to look into that a little deeper. But yes, I did. I had to do it. All right, let's go here to Pac-Man World 2. And we'll go over here to wins. And there it is. The African pipe, the hunting pipe, and the bandee. Yeah, I was right. The bandee. You know why I didn't want to call it the bandee? Because I was like, wait, bandai?
You're right.
Did I get that right? Anyway, so just so you know, those were the 3 pipes. Now, whether I ever used the Pac-Man pipes, I don't know. Like, I don't remember. If you really want me to figure it out, I'll try and go back because, by the way, Spin and also, oh gosh, help me out, Spin. Who's the other person working with us? He changed his screen handle. I love it. Spin knows more about my music than I know about my music, because he's like, no, AF pipe was only used on Bandy was only used on Bare Basics. I'm like, okay, Spin, I believe you. Anyway, we have another person. Hang on, if I can see if I can just quickly grab their name here. Another regular who I don't see them here tonight. Yeah, Meekin. Yes, Meekin. So he changed his screen handle to just M for a while, and so his name is not really sunk in. And wasn't he once called Kiwi? Am I mistaken to think he keeps changing his handle, so how can I keep up? Anyway, so Meekin and Spin and myself, we are archiving and cataloging, and what would be the word? When you preserve something, I guess just preserve, but
Sure, archive, yeah.
yeah, but there's like an official term when you sort of like a preservation society. I guess preserve. We're preserving all the original everything about Pac-Man World 2. And for those who are interested in helping us, here, let me show it to you for anybody who's interested. So here's what we're doing. We are, anyway, there's nothing terribly important on my Discord. But if anybody wants to take a peek. So, so what we've done here is we have this Pac-Man World 2 music, and it's a forum, essentially. And let me just see here. Invites. Let's go here and create one. No, how do you just get the, well, all right, I'll try and figure this out later regardless. Anyway, so yeah, we created this thing here called Pac-Man World 2 Music, and we have a forum for all the sample libraries that were used, and perhaps we're putting in examples of everything, and perhaps we should, for anybody that wants to come here, let me switch back here because now I'm doing a few things that I don't necessarily want the world to see. I was thinking we should pin, I'm going to do this right now, pin message, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna just pin our list. So anyway, so the three of us have been faithfully working on stuff, and certain sounds that were missing, I'm like, finding them, and we're slowly putting it all together. Anyway, let me get caught up here on the chat. All of America listened to your song. That's so cool. Thank you, Spin. I teared up hearing it on TV. Aw, Miles, you're a big softie like me. He's a softie. I'm also a softie. I cry at everything. I'm even tearing up at the thought of Miles tearing up. So, everything makes me cry. Thank you, though, for saying that. It was the emotion of hearing the World 2 theme at such a huge event. Yeah, I know. Miles, man. I mean, I literally didn't know they played the music. I mean, it actually kind of is just hitting me right now. Like, wow, that's actually epic. It's pretty amazing. And listen, at this point, I trust Spin. If he says it was like the 1080 panpipes, I'm believing him at this point. But I don't know, man. Tell me exactly on which level were the 1080 panpipes used, and then what I'll do is I'll go into that level, and then I'll verify it for you, because it'll say actually in the original. We can even do it right now. The Spin challenge. I have no doubt he's right. Like, I have no doubt that he's right, because he's been amazing at helping me to. He's not even helping me. He's helping anyone who's interested in the archiving. I think that's the sort of term I was looking for. In the archiving of everything about Pac-Man World 2. Now, here's the thing, everyone. And by the way, I'm going to just quickly open up Sheep Saver, it's called, for the Apple sheep that want to go to OS 9, which I do sometimes. That's how I was able to translate all the old Pac-Man stuff, right? Was going back to OS 9. Man, blast from the past. So what's that?
Canyon Chaos.
It was Canyon Chaos. Okay, I absolutely believe you. I'm going to pull up OS 9 right now, and then what we'll do is we're going to open up Canyon Chaos right now. And by the way, we could, the thing is, oh man, I have so many thoughts going through my head. But so one of the other things I was thinking of possibly doing is releasing all the MIDI files as standard MIDI files. All. I got to really think this through. The other kind of thing is, what are the sort of possible legal issues? But here's the other thing. But this is the thing that kills me. Like, the entire internet has made MIDI files teaching you how to play the theme with, those piano scrolls and everything. People have posted their standard MIDI files. People have posted 1 million versions of the theme on YouTube and the like, and we get the takedown notice. You know what I mean? Like, how is that fair? So yeah, hold on a sec here. Just gotta move something in the studio. Oh, studio's a total disaster today. Anyway, I want to release them, but I also don't want to get in trouble. Isn't it sad, you guys, that big tech doesn't give a fuck about culture? Sorry, they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't do this. They don't care about gaming culture. They don't. That's the feeling.
It's been a long time since the game companies were, how can I put it, at the level of the player,
Right.
They're up here just throwing shit at.
Listen, when I was
They're not games anymore.
yeah, no. When I was working with the guys at Activision, man, it was amazing. Like, on Pitfall 3D, Asteroids, X-Men, like, they were all people. We were all the same age, Generation X, all in the Activision building, on in Santa Monica, and it was just like an amazing feeling. Like, we sort of knew we were in the golden age of the console gaming, and we were in the golden age. And, the budgets got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gave creative artists like myself more opportunities to do amazing work. And they were a part of the culture. Activision was part of gaming culture at that point still, And this is long before any private equity companies came and bought anyone. And now it's just like they're all like whores up for sale, like it's so sad. And that's part of what's destroying gaming culture, by the way. All right, let's just get caught up on the chat. But they did advertise Re-Pac. This was the official broadcast of the parade. It is. Okay. I saw it live and the music was there. Okay. But I mean, the music was not being played at the parade. The music was on the broadcast, if I'm understanding correctly. Wandy, there's no better theme that represents Pac-Man outside of the arcades. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Sounds the stuff in the broadcast. Sure. It was super exciting. David, you are it. Aw, guys, it's so nice. All right, I'll take it. Stop. Oh, stop it. Stop these compliments. Well, every artist, feels insecure. So when people say nice things, well, it is your composition. That's damn right, And it really bothers me that in the credits for Re-Pac, there's like 3 or 4 people that get credited for the music that didn't fucking write a note. And then way at the end, in like the smallest little writing, music and sound, David Logan Music Incorporated. Anyway, World 2 Melody. Oh yeah, no. Okay, cool. To be fair, it's whack. The Re-Pac remixers didn't just buy Heart of Africa. Okay, fair enough. Bandy was only used in bare basics. Spin, at this point, I believe you. Really firmly, I believe you. Aft pipe was used the most. Okay, so I wasn't wrong to talk about the aft pipe. Still stuck finding the dang accordion. Spin, it's so generic, man. Like, don't split hairs. What he's trying to do is find the source of my accordion, right? But it wasn't on that disc, the great sounds. It wasn't there, because what we're trying to do is show the sources for everything in that I used in the soundtrack. Added new findings for those that want to know what was used in what. Yeah, so by the way, Spin made this amazing Excel spreadsheet that, kind of tracks and shows kind of what libraries were used, who was the manufacturer. And then, I guess eventually, Spin, I think you're going to add, which libraries. And I'm going to go through it. And I was actually thinking we could do it on the stream, because wouldn't that be amazing to show everyone precisely what got used, right? So now, what was it? The bare basic was band D. Still stuck finding the accordion. Okay, so you're saying Canyon Chaos uses the 1080 panpipes. Okay. Okay. Have you heard my creepy, accurate remake of the first bits of the opening FMV? I may or may not have. I don't know. It's in music feedback. Okay, MIDI release would be really sweet, honestly. I know, Super Tune. I want to, but it's also the reason I have a hesitation about it, about releasing all the MIDI files. It's like, it's literally like putting my soul out there for the entire universe to look into. It's a deeply personal thing, like it's really, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, Bobby, you're a composer, so kind of what I'm talking about, no?
I can, yeah. I mean, just because when you give out an audio file, a lot of it is obfuscated, right? And with the MIDI, it's every note.
It's literally every note.
It could have been, it's what you played in. It's what it's the source. So
Yep. It's the source. It's
challenging to
it is the
get
root.
to that part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the root of everything. Like it's really, yeah, like even just thinking about it, I'm like, do I really want to do that?
Plus, I'm not sure what the legality is with Namco.
Well, that's the other thing, right? And this is why I say they don't love gaming culture. And it's really sad, actually, like really, really, really sad. Why are we, there we go. Okay. So Canyon Chaos, I'm going to fire up the logic file for that right now, just to kind of get it in front of us. But I'm also going to open up the Studio Vision file, and because I'm so curious now. Pack Forest, it would be called Pack Forest Level 2 is what I called it. On my hard drive, this is before even, you know, anything was named. So it was just PAC_FOR-02 LVL2.svp. That's what that was called. Craziness, no?
Were there generic names for the levels? How did you keep track when you're
So yeah, I mean, when I did a lot of the work like Pitfall and Asteroids, I learned a lot about asset management from the guys at Activision. And so because there were no names yet for any of, they were basic, like they knew there was a forest, they knew there was a treetop, they called it the ocean level, you know, the water level, and then lava. So basically I just made a naming convention to keep it all really simple. So just, and here, you know what, like, may as well look at this. Hang on, let me just quickly, I'll switch this over. So guys, this is, oops, sorry, there we go. So this is OS 9. This is like the original operating system. And this is like an emulator of it. Oh, look at that idea. This could be an unreleased, unheard, unpublished something. You know that? I should export that and then listen to it. But anyway. So here we go. Look at that. See, I said it. I am glad that I went on record saying it. And I have no regrets saying it. But yeah, he was right. But I'm on record saying that if Spin says it, I believe it 100%. So there it is, man. There it is. We have confirmed that indeed Spin was right, and I was on record. I never doubted him. Never. So now let's see here. Let me go over here to panpipes, and sure enough, yeah, there it is. Oh, wow, man. Look at that. There they are. It doesn't sound right to me. I gotta go. I see now. I want to get to the bottom of this and find out why, because it doesn't sound right to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't sound like 100% correct. And I don't know what it is about that is bothering me, but it is bothering me. Let's see here. See, the notes are more connected there. You hear there's like gaps in between.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, FP. So, by the way, Spin, there were 2 accordions used. And for the life of me, I was not able to find this accordion space LH. I literally, I have no idea where it is. So, my apologies. And so, yeah, so we're stuck on this. I'm going to search one other possible place for you because I know how much it means to you. So I'm going to search for this. Possibly it's here. I'm going to see right now if it is. Oh, Snapola. No, it's just, see, I got the result, but it's just in my Pac-Man World 2 library built. It doesn't show the original where it came from. And I was searching on my hard drive that has all the converted Akai libraries that basically I used. So yeah, this could be the one that got away. So if you want, Spin, this is the name of the patch. So if you want to try and find it, now look at that. It truncated the double space. Look at that. Interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 spaces. So it's accordion, space, 5, 4 or 5. I think I counted 5. 5 spaces. And that's what you're looking for. So hold on one quick second. I'll be right back. Keep the people entertained, Bobby.
I guess I'll do my slimy dance.
So sorry about all this, baby. Really sorry. Yeah, I forgot completely on my stream, and I was in the middle of reconfiguring stuff.
Keep the people entertained.
Yeah, so good. How was work? Are you just work? No.
So,
Okay.
the Macy's parade, that was
Okay.
on NBC, I think?
We can do a fashion
I
show.
feel like I recognize one of those people's voices. The one that
Mhm.
talked and said,
Okay. Sorry about that.
Re-Pac is up.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to figure out where the official broadcast was for the Thanksgiving Day parade. I think it was NBC.
I don't know. You know what though? I mean, I literally, in a million years, never would have thought that they would have put my music on there. You know? Ah, wow. It's you can't open the Great Sounds toast. Let me see what I can do on my end. Yeah, I still can't believe it, man. Like really, I can't. And yeah, I don't know what the process is, but anyway. All right, you can't open the Great Sounds. Let me go and look. By the way, Great Sounds was like a really like hardly known at all. Like nobody used it. And I don't even know how it wound up with me. And it's in my sample cell. So, which is strange. Let's see. Where are we? Greatsounds.toast. Okay. Oh, look at that. I also got the same problem. It says this disk was not readable by your computer. Look at that. So, do you remember the conversation we had early on about the one that got away? The soldiers that didn't make it, that were killed along the way? Could be that this is one of those soldiers that got killed along the way. Because now the very final thing I'm going to do, because this means a lot to Spin, so I'm on his side here.
When you repacked it, you just found an instrument that sounded close to it?
Well, that's the thing about with like certain things they have such character, like the bandy and the African hunting pipe. They can't be replaced really. And you know, the 3080 panpipes, you technically could, I suppose, replace those, but thank you, Feel the Burn. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for all of your great wishes. Yeah, I know. Soshi the Yoshi. Yeah, we've already mentioned it, but it still is amazing. I know it's not technically my music; it's my music. You stand corrected, sir, because I'm now taking the full credit I deserve. It's not technically my music; it's my music. Damn it! I know you meant no disrespect, Yoshi. I'm just teasing. You probably weren't here at the earlier part where I was just calling it that music, in which case I would have agreed with you that it was technically my music. But now I'm trying to take a little more credit.
I mean, if you go to a concert and they're playing Beethoven's Fifth, that's Beethoven's music.
That's Beethoven's music. That's right.
There's nothing you can say about that. So
that is correct.
Re-Pac music or
So
no, really not.
let's maybe not compare me to Beethoven, though.
Mozart.
Well, here's the comparison I'll take. Not even to Mozart, although this is in the very melodic spirit of Mozart's music. You know, Mozart was a better melody writer than Beethoven. So, hang on one second here. I'm going to all this trouble in the background to try and find this one little thing. I'm going to see if I can find it. So Mozart wrote these incredible melodies. But here's where I will say that I think that if either Mozart or Beethoven were alive today, they would be video game composers, most definitely. You know, they would. Look, every composer just looked for ways to make cash, you know. And so you wrote operas, you know, and or ballets, you know. And back then, you know, the A composers is actually a really important topic worth discussing, actually, especially for anyone that's a composer. But before we get into this, let me first just try and deal with this great sounds thing. I'm going to go to, and then we're going to talk about this because I think it's worth talking about. All right, virtual drives. And I put this over here and look for the great sounds. Where did the great sounds go? Where are the great sounds? So, wait. Disk images, sample cell, great sounds. Okay, this disk was not read, and then we just say ignore. And if it's readable, it will show up in my program called Translator. Nope. No way. Yeah. It is officially one of the soldiers that got killed along the way. There's absolutely nothing I can do at this point. It's dead. Now, this is worth talking about for anybody, not just composers, for artists in general. You know, during from the Baroque era, so first of all, opera gets invented in the later part of the Renaissance. So, you know, in the late 1500s, and sort of the most recognized innovator in that space was Monteverdi. And it started in Naples, which is, you know, the southern part of Italy. And yes, indeed, rest in peace, great sounds. So then in the Baroque era, which is from 1600 to 1750, opera matures. And then by the time you get to Mozart, it's like, you know, from 1750 and onward, you know, it's you know, well, the thing is, like, Mozart struggled and failed in many ways because he didn't want to be held by the Archbishop of Salzburg, excuse me, not to be confused with Salisbury steak, or the Archbishop or Archduke, I can't remember, Archbishop, I think, yeah. And so, because he was the patron of Mozart, Mozart had to write all this music, and like Bach did as well, everybody wrote for the church. Beethoven, you have to understand, was the first all-public and no patron. He refused. In fact, Joseph Haydn, who Beethoven studied with, got him a job as a court composer at like some very rich, prince of something or somewhere. And this is a very famous quote. And it just shows how much Beethoven believed in his own music. He said, I'm not interested in a court position. And he said, but it's for the prince of, Haydn said, it's for the prince of, blah, 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 blah. And Beethoven said, in Europe, there are many dukes, princes, kings, and queens. But there is only one Beethoven. Oh, shots fired. I mean, shots fired, man. And that is, you can look that shit up, man. That he said that shit. I mean, I'm probably, paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact words. Okay, so by the time you got to like the Romantic era, and this is from post 1820, basically. Beethoven, by the way, bridged the classical to the Romantic era. When people talk about classical music, they're actually talking about the 20th century composers, Romantic, Classical, and Baroque. So it's these four different periods in history. And Beethoven started off as a classical composer, but then ended in Romanticism and arguably single-handedly gave birth to Romanticism in music. So anyway, by the time you get into the Romantic era and you have a variety of different composers, generally the A-level top tier composers composed opera for the aristocratic, as it were, proper opera, highbrow opera. And the B composers that were not, as held in high regard were tasked with doing ballet. So the A level did the opera, the B level did ballet. But some of the most famous music of all time ever written was written for ballet, right? The Nutcracker Suite is the most, right? Tchaikovsky, and then Stravinsky, right? The Rite of Spring, the Firebird, and Petrushka, I can't remember how to say the final one, or the other one, the third very famous one. And the thing is, this is very much like where we were. I'm going to go with maybe even like 20 years ago. So, sort of at my peak, let's say. A-level composers like John Williams and Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman, the A-level guys did cinema, right? And the B-level composers, and I'm like way at the bottom. I'm not self-deprecating. I mean, there's so many other people who are way more famous that did things way bigger than Pac-Man World 2. Anyway, the B level guys did video games. But you know what's starting to happen? The scales are starting to tip. And now the most relevant, I would argue the most relevant media music being made today is in video games. It's certainly not in cinema anymore.
Right, people don't watch movies like
Nobody, yeah. Well, that's the other thing.
Nostalgic part of people that, like, when you hear a theme from a game that you played, you've spent hours and hours and hours in that world, right?
You escaped.
It doesn't compare to a
No.
2 hour in any way.
No.
So that piece of music will stay with you forever.
It's correct. And when you hear it, it's like you're transformed and you go back somewhere that, to a different
world,
Yeah. Because the way I describe to people the difference between video game music and cinema music is I use the Star Wars, right? Mm-hmm. So in Star Wars, when you hear, when you go to watch the movie, it's guaranteed that, spoiler alert, the Death Star will get destroyed at the end of A New Hope. Whereas if you play a New Hope video game, it's not guaranteed. There's no guarantee the Death Star will blow up at the end because maybe you don't get that far. Maybe your skill levels don't allow you to get there, right? When we're watching Star Wars, we are emotionally attached to the character Luke, and we're like rooting for him, right? And the music helps to get the audience to empathize with Luke, right? And root for him and cheer for him. But when you play a Star Wars game, that's not what's happening.
Right.
You are you, but you are through the eyes of Luke Skywalker. You are experiencing Luke Skywalker. But emotionally, you are keeping all of your own emotions. This is a profound difference. And I think, I very often would get asked to speak at, film scoring societies. So like the Canadian Guild of Film Composers once asked, well, they've changed their name to the Canadian Guild of Screen Composers because they realize how important video games are. And, I would always get the question, always, how can I get into composing for video games? And I would always answer with a question. And I always hate it when people answer questions with questions. But in this case, it was important. Well, but you'll see why in a minute. Why? So I said to him, I said, well, what games are you playing right now? And he's like, I don't play video games, like almost chuckling under his breath. And I said, well, then you're not going to work in this business, And he's like, you haven't even heard my music. How can you say that? I said, because it's not about music. It's about culture. And if you're not in the culture, no one's going to want to work with you. No one's going to trust you. And I'm a gamer to my core. And that's why I work in the game industry, because I understand the language. I understand the aesthetic. I play all the time. I don't play as much anymore. My finger is no longer on the pulse of the game industry as it once was. But anyway, the guy was so pissed off, and it's like, if you heard my music, you would understand. And I'm like, dude, you're just not getting this, man. It's not about. And then I think I said something like, if you are a Japanese sushi chef, you can be the greatest sushi chef of all time, in fact, but you're going to be lost in a tandoori kitchen or in a Neapolitan gnocchi restaurant, like you're just you can't do. What's that? Or even a burger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even
it's not what you're used to.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting. Yeah, it's because I always think of this, that there is a narrative language to all media. So there's a new narrative language that is forming, which is the Netflix narrative, right? People now, they don't want to watch movies. They want to watch long form storytelling. Right. And this is a new narrative language that now when people are making shows, they're understanding this narrative, that people want to go, maybe 3, 4, 6 months following, like Walter White, how we saw the character completely do a absolute unrecognizable transformation from a nerdy science teacher or chemistry teacher to Walter. Spoiler alert, to Heisenberg. Let's get to some of these comments. Yoshi and I were on another video game music related stream. Oh, cool. That's cool, Nick. You know what we should do sometime? We should do a live Zoom call where everybody in our chat joins the Zoom and we can just have a round table. What do you say, guys? I mean, I already know what you're going to say. Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, let's see. Congrats on the... Yes. No, feel free to reiterate it. What else? Rest in peace, great sounds. Yep. Hello, Nick. So we're not. Okay, cool. Yeah, although we were listening to the songs from Super Mario 3 cartoon, well, that's fine. What umbrella are television composers under, Logan? Yeah, well, that's a great question, Yoshi. Yeah, I guess... Yeah, I mean, they're more on related to film. But you see, you have to also kind of understand the origins of television. Originally, television was just radio with a picture. That's it. That's all it was. The idea of producing independent content using television as a medium, so which is why you had this little tiny black and white picture tube, right? It wasn't meant to tell the story of Walter White. I guess as it evolved, it's such a good question, but I would put them more in the camp of the film composer rather than the game composer. Games is just, first of all, the reason why is that, television and film are linear experiences. Netflix is a linear experience. Like, sure, you could skip from episode 1 to episode 9, but it's not like playing a Super Mario where you warp worlds, and you can skip some because you found the secret exit, which is kind of cool, right? Because you're like, ooh, but of course you go back and play those levels anyway that you skipped. Who would actually not play those levels, right? Crazy. So, yeah, film and TV and Netflix are linear and games are nonlinear. Yeah. And the other thing is television, Netflix, and film are passive entertainment, all passive, right? You just sit there, you get entertained. And gaming is active entertainment. So I would just put them into the passive pile, the passive linear pile, and I'd keep gaming in the interactive. So let's see. Oh, Bobby, your volume seems very low. Oh, having trouble hearing you. That's crazy. Not sure.
I raised it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, is that better, guys? That he raised the volume up a bit. You know what? It could also be because I had to delete Sound Source permanently, and that's where I had all my levels. So it could be, unfortunately, it kept distorting, and the only thing that would get rid of the distortion in my sessions with Emanuele was deleting Sound Source. So, but then this is the other problem is that, and this is why I love Sound Source, because now if I turn on Zoom and you talk, I get double speak.
So, I see.
Double speak. So I cannot control independently the volume of Zoom anymore. There's got to be a solution here somehow, man. No? Anyway.
So that there is an update to Sound Source, so maybe that might fix your problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Wandy said didn't even realize he was talking. So is it better, guys? Nick says language is culture. I disagree with that, and I'll just explain why. I think the content of language can be culture, absolutely. The way somebody may speak in an oratorial fashion could be cultural, sure. Dude, if I talk like this, I got pitted in this wave. It was so gnarly, dude. That's like West Coast surfer culture. But language in itself is just, it's a medium of communication. It's just a way that it's a functionality. I think probably what you mean is the way you speak can be culture. The contents of what you say can also be culture. But language in and of itself, I don't know. Because if you trace the roots of the history of language, it was just developed so that humans could organize themselves better for hunting. So they could, go over there and we'll kill the buffalo together. I don't know. Imagine being mad at David Logan. Spin, why would you imagine such a thing? Why would you even say that? I don't like that. Sorry. I'm just being honest.
He might be referring to Namco. I'm not sure.
Okay, you're talking about someone else. By the way, guys, whenever you're going to make a reply to something I said, include what I said. Because when I just read it out of context, because Bobby and I are talking, then I look at the chat, so I just see that comment. Maybe you're right. And this goes for really anything you can apply this metaphor to. Yikes, reminds me of how a company's new CEO asked, why do people have convention for gamers, for games? They don't have conventions for soap. Oh my God. How completely out of touch. No? The third Bruno. I can't believe that anyone would actually say that. I remember when there was this big debate for the National Council for the Arts, which is like this society in America that raises money for artists and, filmmakers. And there's this big debate about they wouldn't classify games as art, so you couldn't qualify to get an endowment from the National Endowment for the Arts, because video games were not recognized. And I think it was finally in 2014 or 2015 that they finally recognized video games as an art form. I mean, it's the most revolutionary art form of all time because it's the only art form you can interact with. End of story. You cannot interact. You can't even take a picture of a piece of art in a gallery, right? You can't. You can't. I mean, most of them. Listen, man, I went to the Picasso Museum in Madrid. I went to the Louvre when I was in Paris, and you cannot take pictures. Actually, the Mona Lisa, they let you. Actually, at the Mona Lisa, they'll let you. But it depends on where. But like in the Madrid Museum, like they will not. If you pull up a camera, the security guards will come and they'll block. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We had to sneak a picture of Guernica. And so the way we did it is I held the camera down, like as if it was not taking a picture, and then would look at my Apple Watch and then and then sort of line up the shot. I was determined. Guernica is my favorite painting of all time, by the way. And then my girlfriend, I'm like, snap it. And she touches the capture button and I got my picture of Guernica, damn it. Anyway, the point is that gaming is an art form that you truly interact with. And even if you can take a picture with the Mona Lisa, the reason I know that is because actually my girlfriend and I took a picture with the Mona Lisa. Or as they call it in Italy, Gioconda. That's what they call it. Anyway, so what? It's not Resident Evil 4. That's all I got to say. Gnocchi. You know what is gnocchi, Nick? Do you know what it is? It's a wonderful Italian. It's pasta with basically stuff with a little bit of potato inside. Sounds boring as hell, but fuck it. It's so good, man.
It's really good.
Yeah, gnocchi is good, especially if it's
Good.
yeah, if it's homemade, which is really the best way of having it. Anyway, or a live Discord call. I'll be down for that. Yeah, we'll do it. Maybe next stream we have everybody come on the Zoom call. It's easier if we do it on Zoom, guys, just because the way I've got everything routed software-wise to get Zoom out onto the stream, in fact. Let's see. What else? Oh, my God, I'm so behind. On the interesting. Game composing is very much its own thing. Yeah, I agree. Because scoring a scripted story is very much its own thing. Absolutely. Gaming music is very much its own thing because it's completely dependent on the player. Yes, especially when you get into interactive music or adaptive music.
Right.
Oh, forget it, man. And there's a big difference, and most composers don't know the difference between interactive music and adaptive music. Very, very different. Yes, correct, Nick, correct. Only time music in a film sequence and game will match is in a cutscene. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you can take the exact music from John Williams, a Star Wars movie, and slap it up against an FMV and FMV cutscene. Same thing, by the way. Some people are, what's an FMV? Full motion video. Anyway, just saying. Let's see. Not literal language, more how it means. And yeah, that's true, Nick. The dialect 100% is about culture, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that a lot. Is referring to the guy you said didn't understand gaming music. The argument with TV composer makes sense. Yeah, that's my opinion, Yoshi. Like we said, out of touch in sync. Out of touch in sync. Didn't quite get that comment. There's a journalist who saw a Tetris world record and said that kid needs to go outside. Yeah, no, that kid does not need to go outside. That kid is a legend. You know, are you talking about the guy who finally got the kill screen after 34 years of trying to beat Tetris? Yeah. No, that kid is part of gaming culture and is a legend. You know, and people have this idea that somehow, you know, gaming culture is not legitimate or it's not real or, I mean, it's real. You know, everyone says, oh, the internet is not the real world. Well, then what the fuck are we doing right now, Bobby? This feels as real to me as, look, man, Bobby made this shirt. You know what I mean? Like a manifestation of many things. So internet is real life. Do I like to go out and touch grass? Yes. Do I like to feel sand on the beach in my toes? Yes. But where am I happiest? Right here. You know, I mean, you know, doing this makes me incredibly happy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy with my girlfriend and spending time with her and her family when we go out, go for dinner, whatever it is. But like, you know, other than that, this is the thing that brings me the most joy in my life. It's true. Hanging out Friday night, talking shop. It's awesome. You know, let's see. What else is there? Just only a couple of years ago. Yeah. David in Spain. Yes, I was in Spain, because I live, you know, in Italy, in the Rome surrounding area. Spain, France are literally like an hour by plane, you know? So, and you can get tickets for like $12. So why would I not go, you know? So, oh, hell yeah, I ate a lot of gnocchi in my childhood. Yeah, Wendy, get that gnocchi in ya. It's delicious. Very, very good. Reminds me how declaration of flash photography. Yeah, well, you know what, Nick? That is a really good point about flash photography being prohibited. And it made me just think about how so many industries were disruptive to other industries. Because when you said flash photography, I had this image of the photographers in the 1930s that would, you know, had the flash bulbs and, right? And like after like a Supreme Court ruling came out and you would see the steps of the Supreme Court just littered with broken glass because everyone would switch the bulb out, right? And people would step on them, you know. It's interesting. And yeah. Yes, I was the kill screen. Yeah, that's a big thing because it was like like 34 years ago, I think Tetris came out and this kid finally beat it. And so for those that don't know what a kill screen is, so some games were not meant to ever be played past a certain point. And literally the game designer never envisioned anyone ever being able to, you know, go to a certain level on, you know, like Donkey Kong has a very famous kill screen. And so literally what happens is you get so far and to such a high level in the game that literally the code just craps out and it freezes. The whole game just freezes and a bunch of weird graphics get displayed. That's a kill screen. And by the way, I'm a absolute, and I really mean this, champion of Bejeweled 2. I still have my iPhone 6S because of it. And I did a kill screen. It's not really a kill screen, but they never thought anybody would ever reach 1 billion points. So there's literally no marker to represent 1. So literally when I was at 99999999999, and then I finally got to 1 billion, it just does comma 00000 and then whatever the score was. And so I've been playing it since the iPhone 4, I guess. Like, so I haven't died since 2010, 2008. I don't know. So it's like same game. And now granted, I don't play it as often as I used to play it because it's not my main phone. Literally, the only reason I kept my iPhone 6S is because Bejeweled 2 is 32-bit. So you can't download it on a modern iPhone. And I'm like, there is no way I am parting with this game. And I kept my iPhone 6S because I don't know about you guys, but every 3 to 4 years I'll upgrade my phone, and I always sell the old one, or use it as a camera. Because these iPhone cameras are wonderful. They're so nice. Anyway, what were we saying? So internet is real life. I agree completely when it's this. A human experience brought together through technology. 100%, Nick. I mean, guys, you're all here because you love the music of Pac-Man World 2, because it struck a chord with you all. And here we are hanging out on a Friday night for me, Friday morning for Bobby and most of you in the United States. How is this not real? I don't understand. We're all talking. We're all having a conversation. So how is this not real? I don't get it. Right. So if we all could be in the studio together, asking away would be, we would, but of course it's not feasible. Yeah. Well, you know what, Nick? I mean, I don't know if some rich benefactor, somehow watched this stream. So anybody out there, help us, please. Timestamp at 1 hour, 18 minutes. Rich benefactor, please send us $1 million so that I can buy airplane tickets for all of my fans here. And now I'm going to call you guys friends. For all my friends to come to Italy and we do this live. So rich benefactor, please. Maybe there's some like Bitcoin maxis out there who bought Bitcoin at like 20 cents and or whatever, bought it at $2 and they bought like a couple thousand. One of the many reasons I'm angry at my former business partner, I asked him to help me figure out how to buy Bitcoin when it was only $200 a coin. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, it's really hard, man. Anyway, it's a scam, dude. I'm telling you, it's At $200 a coin. You understand me?
Yes, I do.
So, like, had I just bought 10, that'd be $1 million. Anyway, all good, all good. It was really hard to buy back then when Bitcoin was $200. Anyway,
We had a bunch at 2000.
yeah, you told me yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. But if you don't know what you're doing, do not buy any cryptocurrency unless you absolutely know what you're doing. It's because you can get destroyed very, very quickly. So, like my first year investing in it. I'm like, well, I invested in the stock market. So, it's like totally different. Anyway, so yeah, the problem with doing the calls in the Discord server, Spin, is that, my time is kind of limited, and so, I mean, maybe once in a while I could do it, but certainly you and my God, wasn't he called Kiwi at one point? I always think of him as Kiwi. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Anyway, if you guys want to do calls, go for it. And if I'm around and I can hop on, sure, why not? Anyway, should we just look at, since I have it up here, let's just have a little fun here. And we will, let's see here. Let's just have a little Pac-Man fun. Yes? Let's just play a little bit of this. Why not? I turned up the accordion louder just to piss you off. I'm teasing. Come on. I'm teasing. It's really, really amazing that I archived everything to be able to, you know?
Yeah.
And this, I just heard something a little bit mistakey about that. Anyway, you know what that is? It's obviously me playing live. Well, maybe it's not obvious, but that is me playing live. And let me just turn the attack up a little bit. So in 19, there we go. In 1992, I was, when I was a student at Berkeley, I was fairly well known as a session percussionist. Anyway, a friend of mine in New York asked me to go out there and play bongos, specifically bongos, because I could play a mean bongo back in the day. And I played this really cool bongo solo. And then I asked him, I said, hey, because I had a sampler. So I asked him, I said, hey, man, do you mind just dumping solo my bongos and record it onto this digital audio tape? And he's like, yeah, man, sure. And from that, I made this sample patch, which, is this. So, it's interesting because I think like part of like composing for games, I'm also putting my own culture in. So like that's my culture, right? That's my lexicon. Literally, that's my lexicon, right? And it's my culture, and it's not just part of Afro-Cuban percussion culture. It's my version of Afro-Cuban percussion culture. And I think this is the really interesting part about, making a game soundtrack, right? I mean, sure, like I used a lot of the distorted reality stuff, the craze drums, the sand drums, the, what was it, Spin? You know better than me, which of the distorted reality drums I actually used. But, it's kind of how I mixed it in with some of my live performances, like that bongo performance. And the Dal Samba, the famous Dal Samba now that we talk about a lot on this stream. So by the way, in the library, I think, Spin, you said there's going to be a column for Logan Custom Instruments. So that's definitely got to be on there. And the name of that is DAL Bongos A Ints. And I'll just put it in the chat here. That's the name. DAL are my initials, David Aaron Logan. So if you want to add that, Spin, into our library, FP Trumpet, shout out. MP, it's FP, not MP, just saying. It's one of the reasons why Re-Pac's remixes sound soulless. Wandy, we're on the same page, Wandy. I agree, because they removed the Dal Samba. They removed the bongos. They removed all the cool stuff, all the culture I put in, and they took it out. How are you going to, I forgot who was asking me, can we do the comparison A, B? You know what? Like, I really don't want to do that. I got to be honest. Like, I don't ever want to hear that shit again, because they literally, like, took the soul, man. Like, how are you going to do Bedouin Woods without the Dal Samba? Why would you do that? Like, sorry, man. Like, I can objectively remove my own ego and say that when you remove that, you remove everything that's cool about that entire shak dak dum shak dak dum shak dak dum dak dak dum da 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 ba da 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 bum 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 bum. I mean, it's so syncopated, the rhythm, and then you're in the background shak dak dum shak dak dum. Why would you do that? Please, somebody tell me, why did they remove the Dal Samba? Oh God. Anyway. All right. Sorry?
Could have been technical reasons. It could have been that when they split the tracks, it just didn't come out right, and they were like, yeah, I guess we'll just get rid of it.
Maybe, I guess. But then call me.
Right.
I would have given it if they had called me.
It would have been hard to find you.
Well, but I don't think it's that hard to find, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It would not have.
Oh, not have been. I didn't hear that part. So, like, yeah, it wouldn't have been hard. And if they had said, hey, David, you know, we're the team, you know, charged with doing your remakes, the repacks of your music, we just can't figure out your Dal Samba. You know, could you help us to figure that out? And I would say, well, do you want it? I can give it to you. And, like, that would have made me happy, very happy, you know. But whatever, man. They did what they did. They made their choices, and they took the soul. Listen, unanimously, everybody, every single comment I have ever read about the Re-Pac music says the same thing. They took out the soul. They took the soul of the music away. And everybody agrees, and including me, and, you know. Ah, yes, the trumpet INS and the sitar drone. Sitar drone depends on which drone I used, but I believe the sitar drone is from Heart of Asia, excuse me. The trumpet INS, that is my very dear friend Matthew Brooks, who's a incredible classical trumpetist. And yeah, so I asked him, could I sample his trumpet? And he came in and did samples for me. So yeah, that is also from the David Logan private library. Guess what? Even removing your ego changes nothing. Thank you, Nick. FP Trumpet's performance being replaced in Re-Pac. No, it wasn't FP. FP was never on Pac-Man World 2, by the way. You might have it confused with this trumpet INS. Anyway, FP would still make it worse even if it wasn't your own performance. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Though it does solo at the end, original say, if I recall. Though it does say solo at the end of the original anyway, though if I recall. I don't know what that's in reference to. Anyway, I really like Re-Pac's remixes. Hey, man, that's cool. You can like them. I don't, but but the Dal Samba was definitely what made Bedouin Woods' identity. 100%, man. 100%. Listen, there's nothing wrong with liking the remixes. If you like the remixes, that's fantastic. And look, at the end of the day, it's still my music. Right. I just think they cheapened it and made it, you know. I mean, I can see why people might like the Re-Pac remixes, because it's like a new interpretation of something classic, you know, a new, fresh way of hearing, you know. So maybe, I don't know. So, hello, David Logan. Can we have your epic samples? No. I love you guys. I just don't love you that much. I don't love anybody that much that I would give them. The only people, and I haven't even done it yet, who are going to get a copy of my samples are going to be Bobby and Emanuele. The thing is, I keep making changes to my custom library, and then I never wound up uploading it. And anyway, it's not even really, it is what it is. Yeah, the short answer is no. I'll never do that. I'll leave it to you guys in my will, though. I'll leave you the original Pac-Man library, okay? I'll make instructions to release the library and the standard MIDI files to the community. Hey, man, I'm not joking. I might do that. So let's see. Problem with Re-Pac is clearly on a lower budget compared to the original game. I think so, man. You know, Namco was a AAA, in-house game. It was a real AAA in-house game, and I don't even know the company that was charged with doing the remixing. As I said, really easy to access Heart of Africa. Yeah. I was referring to the Dal Samba having a little solo in the Bedouin Woods near at the end. Oh, is that true? There's a little solo? Maybe you're right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's listen to the Bedouin Woods at the very end. I would entrust you guys with it. Look, I might do it in my lifetime. I might release it. I don't know. I have to kind of give it a lot of thought, actually. And also I have to, I really seriously have to think of the legality of it, because I don't know, like, I don't want to get in trouble, obviously. Anyway, I just want to hear now, since people are saying, what? Oh, that's the outtakes. Oh, the outtakes are so fun. Some fun stuff that I found. Oh,
you can release those though.
Fudge! I was gonna show you guys some things, and play you some artifacts that I found. Anyway, we're getting ready to wrap it up now. So maybe we can
do that next week.
We could do it next week. Yeah, let's look at outtakes and artifacts. Call it outtakes and artifacts. And but let's go to the. Say again.
I will write that down. Right
yeah. Let me just listen to the end of Bedouin. There it is. So, to be fair, that is not actually the true Dal Samba. The true Dal Samba is just one drum loop of me playing my drum set. That's the Dal Samba mixed with other drums and percussion. That's another thing, by the way, is the David Logan custom drum library. So I sampled all of my drums, and that's what you're hearing. Like, that bass drum is from my drum set. The rim click is from my drum set. The hi-hats are from my drum set. So that's one of the main, actually that is the main drum resource for most of Pac-Man, is my private samples. Again, that's me putting my culture into, so literally, with the exception of one instrument here. Yeah, there's just a Brazilian surdo, and that's the only thing that's not actually recorded by me in my studio. And the shaker also is not recorded by me in my studio. It might be actually. I can tell you right now, in fact. And this, you know what? This is, by the way, we're going to wrap it up pretty soon here, guys. But that's the other thing, another thing that we should do. Let me just find the Bedouin. We should open up every single track from the very beginning and then make a catalog of, because it, Spin and Kiwi, I'm just going to call him Kiwi. That's how I remember him, as Kiwi. Am I wrong? Spin? Was his handle once Kiwi? Because he keeps changing his handle. This is the problem. This is why I can't remember. Yes, that rhythmic feeling I felt from the music has become infectious. Indeed. Oh, you know what, though? Yeah. Anyway, well, let's see how long it takes this to load. So you know what I've done now, Bobby, in Logic? There's a feature that Logic it says like basically only load resources when used, right? So
Right.
if you pull up a session and it
I love
has,
that feature.
yeah, but I hate it. And so I turned it off. Yeah, and I'll tell you why I hate it. So, yeah, so because here's the problem. In creative mode, like if I'm composing and then I switch over to, I don't know, the Abbey Road strings, which you know how heavy those are, right?
Takes a long
Well, then I got to sit there. I got to sit there and I got to wait. I got to wait for that to load. And, you know, maybe it takes 5 seconds, you know, but
That's
that
enough.
is so annoying. So now what I do, it takes like 5 times longer now to load my sessions. But what I'm doing is I just have everything load. It's all in the RAM because I have 128 gigs of RAM, so I can afford it. And guess what? Now when I go, oh, it's just no waiting. Everything's just there. You know, I mean, I would never do that on, you know, like my Mac Mini, but but here's the big problem is that it's project dependent. So when I save the projects that way, they do load on the Mac Mini overall, but for example, they probably wouldn't load on other systems. So I have to kind of think about that and figure out how that's going to work. All right. By the way, Bedoing Woods just loaded. And I think this is the big Samba thing. Right, this is right. We never even got back to that, did we? All right, there we go. Okay, the shakers have been identified. I will put the spin. These are the shakers. This is from the original factory Sample Cell 2 disc. That's where that's from. So the original Sample Cell 2 factory disc, which is why I was trying to find it, by the way, in original Sample Cell 2 format. Really, really want that. Oh man, there's errors in the not errors, but translation issues, I'll call them, in the translations to Contact. So I guess, what was it? Internet Archive has it posted.
Right.
Yeah. So there's some issue. I know this because my translations are better for some things. And I remember, and all of them got translated very nicely into Logic's sampler format. And when I got Logic and I was using the internal sampler, I did a massive, like, side by side with my Sample Cell 2 cards installed, and then I'd load them and play back like my most important sounds, and they feel a little bit different on the Internet Archive versions, but there it is. Yes, it is the World Shakers from the factory library of Sample Cell 2, and those got used a lot, by the way, a lot. Another one was World Drums that I used. I don't know on which levels, but eventually we'll do this. We'll open up absolutely everything, and then we'll look at everything. The best I remember, right? Like, you have to understand that, like, you know, if we go to my OS 9 version of things, yeah, like some things are just obvious, you know, like when I look, but like flute 1, flute 2, well, which flute, you know? So then I go and I listen to the level, and then I'm like, that sounds like the African hunting pipe, or that sounds like the bandee. But for example, this was a really big problem, in fact, because I have this thing here just called Perk 1, Perk 2. You know? So, like, if you look at it, oops. Here, I'll just share this with you guys. So the way that I kind of figured things out was, you know, so look, Craze drum, we obviously know what that's from. The Jaws harp from X Sample. Piano, I'm just assuming it was the Giga Studio piano. But flute 1, flute 2. Now, because it says XV3080, we know that that's in fact, the 1080 pipes. But flute 3 got muted. But bass, what bass, right? Perk 1, perk 2, which perk, right? So again, I would go and I would listen, and now kick, rim click, hat, those were always my private samples. Bongos A, that was the Dow Bongos A. So, but perk 3, and these really stumped me. But I found some of these were from the Steve Reed percussion. And yeah, like for example, Albion didn't even exist then. So this is clearly a mistake, a translation mistake between OS 9 and because it has this thing that it goes, this Unix here goes to my home folder. So through OS 9 you can actually access your home folder, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, so look how slow and unresponsive it is. It's incredible. So yeah, like some things like I'm not actually 100% sure about, but for the most part, and like what, I don't even know. Oh, that's the Miroslav. Yeah. Violin, détaché, stereo, forte, I think. Anyway. So yeah, like some things, like especially the accordions, that's like lost forever, Oops, wrong button. Anyway, well, I think that's it for tonight. Sorry if I didn't catch up on the chat completely. Hey David, dropping.
Just wanted to bring up the fact that what's called the parade, and I think he just stopped it by. He says it felt so surreal.
Yeah, everybody's talking about that parade, man. Like 3 different people sent it to me. It's crazy. Grunky is saying, dropping in for a sec. I'm working Black Friday right now. Just wanted to ask you. Oh, yeah. Yes, I did see. Absolutely. It was so surreal. True. Never realized that. I'll laugh like an idiot every time I read my username. Didn't realize what. Sorry, I guess I missed that part. Anyway. Fun stream to attend, Logan. You have my love. Hey, straight back at you, man. Straight back at you. Let's go full screen, man. Big love. Big love on the full screen. Big pack love to everybody. Directly from Orb Soundworks. Pack love from Orb. There it is. Well, guys, thank you all for coming. It's always a really good time hanging out with you. And like I always say, I think the purpose of life is to find some purpose in life. And I think the meaning of life is to find some meaning in life. And thank you all again.